Okay, so the new thing. I guess before the new thing, just in case you need to see it, let's go ahead and open up Guitar Pro 7 and do the quick demonstration on how to use this. Let's see, which one do I want? There we go. Okay, so let's say I already had that one up. Um, so starting out here, make sure that you have the cursor over here at the very beginning. You can always play it safe and just click that up here. I don't know why Guitar Pro 7 doesn't allow my mouse to show on here. It works on Guitar Pro 6 but not 7, so hopefully you can see that highlighted, and then you see where the cursor is right there. So for whatever reason, like if you click over here and that's where it is, you want to make sure that you go back to the very start. So up here, it's not really showing too well. Let me do something here. Okay, so this is at the top of the screen. You have tried to highlight it there. Did that highlight at all? It's kind of highlighting a little bit. So hopefully you can see that flashing somewhat. That's your tempo right there. So you'll see the quarter note equals whatever the tempo is. So you click on that, and then that brings up this whole thing, so you're able to change it. So again, make sure it's set to 60 when you start. Just click OK, and you're good. And then you play through that. Now up here, these two highlighted things. So I'll turn these off for right now. So this thing here, the timer, sand timer, that is your count in. So you want to make sure that is highlighted. This would be the metronome, so you hear the click as you play. You want to make sure that's highlighted. So make sure both of these are highlighted so you can not only have the countdown, but you have the beat to follow. Very important these are both activated. So you play through it, just like we've talked about, you play through it correctly once, and then you go back up here, you increase the metronome speed by 5 beats per minute, click OK, takes you back here, play through it again. Just be careful that you don't click too low underneath the timing here, or else that'll happen, and that puts the cursor in a, well, this is going to work for me. There you go. Puts it in the wrong spot. So if you do that, and if the cursor is like it is here, if that's too far, if it's not in the right spot, and then you go to change the tempo, and so you move it up by 5, you see now you have the tempo here, it's starting in the wrong spot. So you have two different tempos. So you have that one, and then you have that one. You don't want that to happen. So that's why it's important to always make sure the cursor is at the beginning. So this way you avoid changing the tempo mid-song and all that. So yeah, there's the overview on how to use that. Hang on, we'll just minimize here. Okay. Now that's been talked about. Because I can actually have the mouse shown in Guitar Pro 6 when I'm doing the screen capture stuff, that's one reason why I use this. I find it's easier to write things, certain things, faster in Guitar Pro 6. Guitar Pro 7 has better looking and better sounding MIDI bends. But, oh well. So, yeah, Guitar Pro 6 here. So, here's the whole thing. So basically, there's your F5 chord here. So even though you're playing one note at a time, they got the chord name listed, so this way you know what chord you're holding. Now a lot of times when you see something like this, you'll actually see it labeled a little bit different. You'll see that. The let ring. You'll see that. And what that means is you hold the notes down and you let everything ring together. It sounds like an absolute mess sometimes in Guitar Pro, so that's why I didn't put it in there. So when you listen to it, it's going to sound It might sound bad. I think Guitar Pro 7 sounds better than 6. I don't remember. But anyway. So, yeah, you're going to hold all the notes down at the same time. So this way you hear all the notes ring out together. And this way you can pinpoint when your finger gets off. So, ultimate goal with this, yeah, if you can play the whole thing from beginning to end with no mistakes, that's awesome. But it's not a big deal if you find that you have to continue correcting a chord throughout the week. And so let's say you make it up to the C5 chord here, and that's where things start to sound bad. So instead of starting all the way over again, I just want you to correct that chord, stay on it for like, maybe like 4 or 5 times, and then move on. And then make it so, to get to the D5 chord. Maybe that didn't sound so great. Stay there for a bit, make it sound good, and then start to move on. So, eventually, yeah, you'll definitely be able to play stuff like this, but I want you to take as much time as you need in order to make every single note sound perfect. And remember, only perfect practice makes perfect. If we practice with mistakes and never correct them, well, the mistakes are going to stay there. Every time we practice with mistakes, we're just making more mistakes. Yeah, so I'm gonna how about this? Let me run through the whole thing, and then we'll do like a troubleshooting close-up. So I have very clean sound right now, no delay, no reverb. So fairly slow. This is what the whole thing sounds like. Okay, so let's do a close-up here of the fretboard. Guess I can close that guy. All right. Guess I'll do right here. So yeah, the higher up you go, the less room you have for error. So again, what was happening, as you noticed, like the more you go up, the more the ring finger wants to stay behind. So, like right here in the C5 chord position, try and get it, that's starting to happen. So you see, like my index finger right here, you can see there's the fret. So there's fret number 8. Here's fret number 9, which is basically what my ring finger is sitting right on top of. And then pinky is right behind fret number 10. So you want to make sure that this finger is always behind the fret you want to ring out. Now, there is some wiggle room. You can have it come back a little bit, but if you go too far, you get that sound happening. So anytime, basically what you're making there, that's a diminished 5th chord. Or, yeah, it's basically a power chord with a flat 5. And that's, so if you want something to sound nasty and gnarly, well, you play that chord. But we're not working on that quite yet. So yeah, if it sounds off to you, most likely your ring finger is too far to the left. Scoot it over and try again. Okay. I think that covers it all. Another thing you can try doing, like when you're using Guitar Pro, is just practice counting along with it. So like say if when it's getting faster, you just want to count the 1, 2, 3, 4 and just practice doing that. So like tap your foot, count the 1, 2, 3, 4 as you tap your foot and listen to the MIDI track. That's not a bad idea either. Anytime you listen to music, whenever possible, you get in the habit of tapping your foot along to the beat. some songs will be much easier to find the beat. Other songs are going to be really weird. So, it's something you can do. If if you are, let's say you have a song, you can follow the beat real well, and you're getting it, and you're able to snap your finger, tap your foot along to it, and it sounds good, and you can really tell that you're on it. And then let's say you're trying to tap along to a song and follow the beat of a song, and you just can't. For some reason, you can't find it, and you're not sure what's going on, or it seems like you have it, and then all of a sudden you lose it. So, if that happens and you want to talk about it, let me know what song it is, and then kind of examine it and do a lesson with that and discuss what was really happening to cause it to be such a problem. Because there's several songs out there. I don't know about several. There's a ton of songs, period, out there, right? Like millions, maybe even billions of songs out there. So some of them have, odd time signatures. Some of them have multiple time signatures happening. It could change throughout the song. Some songs will have multiple tempo changes. So the speed of which the beat is going can speed up or slow way down, and all kinds of funny things can happen. But most of the music you listen to, most of the music all of us listen to, it's usually fairly steady. So anyway, if you have questions about any of that stuff, let me know. Again, take your time with the new thing. Accuracy with the individual chords is the most important thing. Once you start to feel more comfortable with that, go ahead and try and play along to the whole thing as if it was a full piece of music. So, if you got questions, let me know. I will see you again next week, and hopefully you're no longer under the weather very soon.